You should subscribe to the Monaresclub. Because the Principal of Saiyans told you to, idiot. Bye.
What's good, guys? Bringing you another deck profile here today. This is kind of a weird one. It's from set 12, which already means it's probably going to be a bit of a weird deck, because it's a weird set. But this deck's really fun, and I really wanted to walk you guys through my build I had of it. And it's going to be the Red King Piccolo archetype from set 12 Vicious Rejuvenation. So, I don't normally play red, and I really don't care about King Piccolo as a character. Like, it was an okay arc, but I pulled so many of the SRs at pre-release for him that I even got this pre-release stamped leader. I just had to play. I just ended up building him, and he's been really fun, actually. And I've been enjoying him a lot. So, what's the deal with this guy? So, he has a permanent that says you start the game with 6 life. And that sucks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It sucks a lot. But he's really powerful and helps make up for that. So, what does he do? When he attacks, you can take a Demon Clan. Let me just make sure, because I just put this deck together, played like maybe 10 games with it. So, when it attacks, you can choose up to 1 red Namekian or Demon Clan card in your hand, place it in your life face up, and if you do, add a card from your life to your hand. So, he doesn't really draw cards on the front. He has combos that let him do that, and let him go plus. But for the most part, he's not drawing cards on the front by himself. You just get to take Namekians and Demon Clans, put them face up in your life, and replace them with random cards from your life in your hand. So this is good, because you don't want your Demon Clan cards in your hand. You want them in your life. And so that's kind of his whole shtick here. He has an Awakening, so it's either when you have 2 life or less, or you have 2 or more life flip face up, you draw 3, and then you put the top card of your deck into your life. So he essentially starts at 7 life, not 6, because if you can awaken, you get 1 more life back. So that is definitely something to note. And he draws 3, which is a lot. Like, you get a life back and draw 3 for awakening. It's pretty cool. And he can also awaken early. You don't have to be at 2 life. It's actually really rare that you will awaken at 2 life. You can pretty much always awaken on turn 2, because you'll swing, put a thing in your life face up, take a blind life, and then on the next turn swing again, put a blind life, and then put a thing in your life face up. So on the this is where the juice starts to really start getting made on this side here. So he has an auto. When he attacks, you choose up to 3 red Namekian or Demon Clan cards from your hand and put them in your life face up, and then take that many cards from your life into your hand. So this is just a turbocharged version of what he does on the front. You just get to any Demon Clans you got in your hand, you just stick them in your life, you take blind cards instead, and it feels really good to just kind of filter those out. You replace them, get super combos and negates and stuff. It's great. But where's this all leading to? Why do we have these things face up in our life? We have this activate battle once per turn. So if you have a red Namekian or Demon Clan card flip face up in your life, you place the top card of your deck in your life, and then you can combo with up to, I believe, 1. You have 1 face up red Namekian or Demon Clan from your life. So that sounds weird. Now, all of this sounds weird, and it doesn't really sound good. But the deck has a lot of synergy and a lot of pieces that have to kind of come together in order for it to start really making sense. And we're going to have some gameplay on the channel as well, so that you can kind of see for yourself just how all of this comes together. So basically, all of your Demon Clan cards, which I'll just show you right here, when you combo with them from your life, you can then play them from your life and then put them into play. So what do these guys do? Tambourine is unique. When you combo him from your life, you put him into play. Then he has an auto once per turn when you swing with him. And you have 3 or more life face up, which it's really easy to, because your leader does that automatically for you. And when you swing with him, you have 3 or more life face up. Leader sets that up for you. He restands and gets plus 5k for the turn. So he's like a super dual attacker that becomes even bigger on the second attack. Symbol is the real sauce here. So he has the same auto, comes into play if he gets comboed from your life. He has an activate main once per turn. You can choose one of your unisons with the Rejuvenate keyword, which our unison has the Rejuvenate keyword. Put a card from your drop area underneath it, add a marker to it, and draw a card. That's right, you don't have to choose a marker or a card. You get both for free. So every turn Symbol's out, and as long as you have stuff in your drop to put under your unison, it doesn't have to be a more unison cards either. It can be literally anything. You just put it under there, you add a marker to it, and you draw a card. Your Unison becomes invincible, and your hand gets really fat, and it's stapled to a 15k. Awesome. And then we have Drum. He kind of sucks, but he's still okay. I play 2 of him. I like him as a 2. He's a barrier blocker that comes into play if you combo with him from your life. I believe he has another auto. If you leave his Red King Piccolo card, when this card is played, yeah, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, gets minus 10k for the turn, so it can be kind of like, if you combo him into play on your opponent's turn, he's like a super fat negate, because he's a barrier blocker, and he'll minus 10k one of their things. So if they have a really wide board, this guy's going to help take care of that for you. Not nearly as aggressive as Tambourine, or as much value as Symbol, but, you know, he can get the job done, and I just like to have a decent amount that I can stack up in my life as we're getting ready to get into the game. And then, to go along with these guys, we have Attack of the Demon Clan. We got another dead Krillin on a card, guys. I'm keeping track, Bandai. We'll see how many we can get printed in this game's lifespan. Alright, so it's a 1 energy extra card. Activate Battle. Your leader's a Red King Piccolo card. Guess what it is. You choose a Demon Clan card with an energy cost of 3 or less from your deck. You put it in your life face up, and then you can combo with one of them from your life. So this just tutors any of these things you need into play. And it's Activate Battle. You can do it on either player's turn. So, you know, that can help you set up your Drum or whatever as well to help stop your opponent. And it also has really good synergy with Piano, Reign of Terror. This guy's how you're going to be drawing a fat hand with your leader, even on the front side. So this guy is unique. You can only have 1 in play. It would be really stupid if you could have, like, 4 in play. That would be really dumb. But so he has an auto once per turn. If your leader is a Red King Piccolo card, when a card is placed face up in your life, you draw a card. So that is what turns your leader into going plus on the front side, and it continues to plus on the back as well. It's once per turn. It's not only during your turn. So that means this turns Attack of the Demon Clan into a free cantrip as well, and you're just going super hard plus because you go Attack of the Demon Clan, put a thing face up in your life, combo it into play, and draw a card. So you're going +2 and getting a body into play for 1 energy. It's crazy good. He also has this ability, once per turn, if he dies, you can turn one of your life face down to bring him back into play. So your opponent, you know, tries to murk him, you just bring him right back. Really good. Piano is the MVP of the deck. He's your number 1 card you want on turn 1. And the number 1 card you want on turn 2 is coming right along here. We've got Piccolo Jr., Descendant of the King. Sorry for the mismatching. This is just what I ended up with after pre-release. Set hasn't even officially come out yet as of this profile, so this is just what we've got to work with here. What does this guy do? He's a 2-cost red Unison. He has an auto that my wife hates, and let's just read it together here. When your opponent activates a counter skill, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 15k power or less and KO it. This is not once per turn, so every time your opponent activates a counter skill, even on their own turn, so like say you like cheat one of these things into play, they try to counterplay it, you get to trigger this again and kill one of their things, kill whatever the counterplay is they played. It's crazy good. But that's just the icing on the cake. That's just the gravy here, because that's just an auto that he gets for free. He also has this +1 draw card. Really good. Just +1 every turn, draw card. Really good. Home that with your Symbol and your Piano, you're going to be getting a fat hand really quick. And then he has this -2, which has a lot of words, so I'm just going to read it for you guys so I make sure I don't get it wrong. So he's a -2, activate main, choose up to 2 of your red battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less, or choose up to 1 of your red battle cards with an energy cost 3 or less. Then you choose all your opponent's battle cards with power less than or equal to it, and KO them. Then this card gains Rejuvenate once per turn, remove 2 markers from this card for the turn. So it essentially says -2, choose one of your things with cost 3 or less. Note it is 3 or less. We do have bigger things in this deck, so you can't choose those. Then it kills all of your opponent's battle cards with power less than it, basically. So the biggest combo with this is with like Tambourine, because he'll restand, become a 20, and then you can choose him, and then kill everything with 20k or less power. And then he also gains the Rejuvenate skill for 2 more markers for the turn when you do this. So it can essentially turn it into a -4, wipe your opponent's board, or remove one of the things from under him, either another Unison, or something set up there by Symbol, and Bob's your uncle, you get another life back. Hey, you're back to 8 life. And now you're playing a normal leader with a bunch of really broken stuff attached to it already. So, Piccolo Jr., MVP of the deck. The extra draw power is awesome, and getting that life back is just icing on the cake. So, this is kind of your core lineup here. of all of the King Piccolo stuff. This is a very archetype-driven deck for sure. Like we still got more archetype stuff coming up. So now we have the King Piccolo chain. You know, those were just his little babies. We got the King coming out now. So now we've got King Piccolo, Dragon Ball Obsession. When you play him, you dig 5 for either a 2-cost red Unison or a Namekian or Demon Clan card with cost 4 or less. So that'll be literally any of the cards I just showed you that aren't extra cards. You know, even the Unison. So it can get any of these and any of himself because it chooses Namekians and Demon Clans. And if you run like Namekian super combos, you can grab those too. This guy's just going to try and sit in play because he's going to be an evolve target. And then he's going to be an evolve target for King Piccolo. Time to fight. That's right. He's ready to fight now. He's sitting on the chair, then it's time to fight. EX evolve, red King Piccolo with energy cost 3 or less. Guess what? This is a King Piccolo with energy cost 3 or less. So when you play him, or when he attacks... so first of all, when you play him, you search your deck for a Namekian or a Demon Clan with energy cost 4 or less, other than himself, or your Unison, and put it in your hand. You just tutor your deck. You don't even dig like 7 or anything. You just grab whatever card you're missing and put it into your hand, as long as it has an energy cost of, I believe it has an energy cost of 4 or less. Yeah, has to be 4 or less, unfortunately. You can't grab our 6, but, you know, that's just a free plus right there. You go evolve, grab a Demon Clan guy, then you can set whatever Demon Clan you're missing in your life with your later swing, and then boom, Bob's your uncle, you're off to the races. Then he also has this auto once per turn when you play him or attack with him. It's only once per turn, so you don't get it both for playing him and attacking with him, but you get it when you play him and then every subsequent turn after when you attack with him. You choose one of your red Demon Clan cards in your battle area. It gets plus 20k power for the turn. He can't pick himself because he's only a Namekian. He's not a Demon Clan, unfortunately. But he will get buff something for 20k, which means you can turn this Tambourine into a 40k, and then with his own ability as well, and then use the Piccolo Jr. to use the Tambourine, wipe everything with 40k or less power on your opponent's board. That's pretty good, right? But we're not done, and I'll tell you why. We've got 3 of the King Piccolo Evil Dictator. Alright, so this guy has a lot of words on him. So, but that usually means it's good. Okay, so he's got Deflect, Double Strike, and Dual Attack. So he gets around, like, the Trunks counterplay, which is great. He does not get around Charismatic Villain, so you'll have to try and get your opponent's markers down below 2 before you play him against green. So he has an auto. Let's see, when this card's removed from your battle area by a skill or KO, choose one red face-up King Piccolo Jr. with energy cost 4 or less from your life and play it. I'm not playing any Piccolo Jr., so this does not apply. But we have this weird pseudo-successor ability where he's an activate main, pay a red, and then you choose Demon Clan cards in your battle area until you have them with a total of 40k power, kill them, and then play him from your hand for 1 red energy. We don't pay 6, we're paying 1. We're just paying 1, because this is Dragon Ball. Alright, so can you kind of see the combo here? So the combo here is we go play Tambourine, swing, he'll restand, he gets plus 5k, then we'll evolve on top of one of our little guys here, give him plus 20k, he's 40k, send again, and guess what? He's a 40k, we just pay a single red and go straight into him. And that's an easy 40k right there. You can also just kind of choose a combination of things as well, if that's what you have to end up doing, but that's kind of the ideal way to get him out. And he's a double strike dual attack 25k. That's pretty good. That's kind of our big finisher right there. That's our big wombo combo. Then we've got 2 more of these King Piccolo 1-drops, so this just comes into play, draws a card. And it has another ability that isn't super relevant. I just have him as redundancy for the Evolve here, because sometimes people can be really mean and just keep your 1-drops off the table, and this is still a valid Evolve target, and it cantrips when you play it. Not too bad. It also has it does have an ability, activate main, once per turn, pay red. If your leader card is red, this card gets plus 10k power, 11k power, sorry, so it becomes a 15k, gains critical, and then if your opponent has 5 or more life, you deal 1 to them. It doesn't come up super often because we're using our energy pretty heavily in the first couple of turns, but if you have that energy and they're still at a good life total, you can do that. And this pump will also stack with, if you use it as an evolve, so you can pay 3, evolve this, and then it just becomes a 31k while it's in play for the turn. It doesn't keep critical, but it does become a 31. So that is a possibility that you can do. Mostly there just as a 1 energy evolve target. And then we have my poor man's SR King Piccolo from the draft box. I don't have the SR King Piccolo. They'd be really good. If I had them, I would run them over these two, but this is what I have. I don't want to pay 30 bucks a copy for those King Piccolos, so this guy's still pretty good, though. He's got Deflect, Double Strike, and Barrier, so he gets around basically every counterplay in the game. And then he has, your opponent can't use blocker skill against him, and then if they do a counter skill during his combat once per turn, you get to just take a life and then deal 1 to your opponent. Not even restand him. You're like, they want to counter his attack, you just take a life and then they burn 1. They just take the damage. It's great. He also has once per turn if your leader's red and it attacks you, choose one of your red unison cards and add a marker to it. Just kind of fluff. Not the best ability, but hey, I'll take it. Free markers. And now we're getting around to the tech of the deck. 4 topo. Our leader starts at 6 life. What do you want to do? We're playing 4 topos. We gotta survive somehow. And to add on top of that, I've got 4 Wolffang Fist. These are Wolffang Fists, I promise. I couldn't find my last 2. I must have, I don't know what I did with them, but I'm supposed to have 4 in here, because I really want to be able to play like the Unison on turn 2, and then still have good defense up, even while tapping out for that. So, 4 Wolffang Fists, really good. And then we've got 2 Yamcha counterplays. They're good, they're just a little situational, because you can only choose the card being played if it's being played in a counter window. You know, if it's being played off a skill, essentially. But you can choose other stuff on their board, and it helps keep you alive. 4 Raditz super combo. I've messed around with the Namekian super combos as tutor targets as well. I think it's a little too cute. You can just go with the raw power of these. You'll get to 4 pretty easily in this deck, because you start at 6. And then I just have 2 Bardock Overwhelms. You do use your drop a little bit with Symbol, but not so much that you can't also afford to just Overwhelm every now and then. And this is my favorite Overwhelm card. It's free. It's 5k. We don't use our drop outside of that Symbol. And it sets a card back into our drop to then be put back under with Symbol anyway, because you draw 2, discard 1, and you just use that with Symbol, put it under, so not very bad anti-synergy with the deck. And, yeah. Okay, so I'll just run you guys through the kind of the basic first couple of turns with this deck, because it is kind of weird. So having a kind of a general game plan is always good to know what you're doing with the deck. So turn 1, your ideal play is going to be this piano, just so you can have him set up there. You know, swing with your leader, get a card off of it, get a card off of your piano, set a demon clan up in your life. It doesn't really matter what one you have. You're going to generally try and mulligan away all of your demon clans, because you don't want them in your hand except for piano. Because you really want to look for, in your opener, you want to look for piano and your unison. These are your 2 most important early plays, so that's what you want to look for in the opener. And pretty much mulligan away almost everything else. Obviously it's matchup dependent, but... So yeah, turn 1 you want to do like piano, and then turn 2, if you're against something that's going to try and mow you down, you might want to just leave up Topo. Otherwise, you could potentially risk tapping out for Piccolo Jr. This is obviously the ideal play, and then you could back it up with like a Wolffang Fist to help protect yourself with that. But yeah, Topo is a good alternative there on turn 2. And then turn 3 is kind of your free agent turn. If you hadn't established Piccolo Jr. yet, you can then jam him, and then leave an energy up for like Attack of the Demon Clan to do on your opponent's turn, or you can start, if you smell blood and you're all lined up for the kill, you can potentially go for the kill on turn 3. So you can use, you'll have 3 energy up. You haven't played a King Piccolo yet. If you haven't, you can always play a King Piccolo on turn 1 if you don't see piano as well, which is fine. Either one of these will do. Otherwise, you can just play 1 on turn 3, evolve into your king here. Well, let's see. Well, you'd want to swing with your leader first, get your tambourine out. Ideally, you'll have a tambourine out after swinging with your leader. You could potentially use Attack of the Demon Clan to get it out, because you'll have a free energy up anyway. Get tambourine out, swing, restand. He'll be 20k. You'll play out, your king, and then evolve him. Make this a 40k. Swing 1 more time, then use 1 more energy on your King Piccolo. Swing, double strike, and swing 1 more time. And that's pretty much the game plan of the deck. You can do that turn 3. You can do that turn 4, turn 5. It really just depends on the pace of the game and what cards you see, but your first couple of turns are pretty straightforward, just kind of setting up your value engines and surviving, and then later on in the game, just trying to just kill them in 1 really big turn. So, yeah, that's the deck, guys. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.